damit ein herzliches Willkommen und hallo zusammen bei der Part Fake Grand Order. Ich bin jetzt im Fix. Wir müssen leider in den Schlafmodus gehen. Beim letzten Mal haben wir hier noch eine Re-Up zum Duell der Könige rausgefunden. Anstatt dass wir uns einfach battlen, ist es irgendwie ein Ding, dass wir die beste Schokolade machen müssen. Ich hate es, Leute. Ich hasse Khan als Valentin-Server und ich hasse dieses Ding. Ich bin echt kurz davor, es zu skippen, weil es einfach so dumm ist. It seems these would be contenders have what it takes to compete. As the chocolate fairy declared this map match is now officially underway. The taste testing shall take place at high noon tomorrow. Contestants will have until then to prepare the chocolate. Both contestants must use the cooking facilities in the cathedral and may employ up to one fairy assistant. Any questions? Können wir nicht einfach irgendein fettes MP machen und Map umbringen und dich am besten auch? None here. I can't wait to get started since I already have someone in mind to give the chocolate to. I'm going to make the best chocolate anyone will taste all year. It'll be better than anything Gloucester has to offer. Hang on. You're really doing this? What in the world does making chocolate having to do with choosing a leader? I think this has been in the law of the land in Edinburgh for the past 1600 years. Alright, Lady Artoria. You take the Star Kitchen. Lady Knockno Reverb. You take the Moon Kitchen. I will prepare rooms for the night of the rest of Lady Artoria's companions. I'm afraid you won't be able to talk. Entschuldigung, ich muss immer niesen, wenn ich Bullshit höre. To the shock testants while they are in the kitchen, but you're free to talk outside the kitchen if you like. Alright. Enjoy your chocolate making and remember fortune smiles on those with truly strong hearts. Leute, das ist so behindert, Mann. Ich freue mich so, wenn wir irgendwann Kahn auslöschen können, Mann, und Map irgendwann krypiert, Mann. Das ist echt sehr doof. Leute, das ist so schlimm, weil wir so cooles Drama, so extra, es ist halt jetzt einfach wieder Gimmick, edgy, Kack wird, Mann. Well, at least it was nice of them to reserve rooms for us, but... Dora ist nervös? Ganz normal. Mesh, I wish I could go help Artoria myself, but... And I'd like to meet the Sister Artoria in a chocolate duel, right? Oh mein Gott, ich sehe Mesh Castoria fights. I'm maybe a Demi-Servant, but the fairies seem to treat me as one of them, so there shouldn't be a problem. That would be great, thanks for doing this. Ich hätte mir Da Vinci schicken sollen. Before I get started, I'd like to go everything we've learned so far, just as Chaldeans. You already told us about what happened after you were sent to the past in Norwich, of course. Zum Glück, liebe Leute, ich dachte, wir reden jetzt echt über die Entstehungsgeschichte der Schokolade, Mann. But I still want to hear what happened to you before then, and fill you in on what's happened with us. And this should be a good place for a private chat, especially since more Mars and Grim are in another room. Ihr hättet es jetzt so gehatet, Mann. Ich meine, Schokolade ist gut, Ziff, auf jeden Fall. Ich gehe auch bald wieder in das Schokomuseum. Aber liebe Leute, nicht in FGO. So that happened to you after we got separated. Salisbury, Gloucester, Londinium. Manchester, the Lake District, plus everything with the Round Table Army, of course. I would have guessed that Pippi was here too. And as the count of all things, I'm sure it fits him like a glove. Unfortunately, Pip is not the only crypter here. We saw Beryl and Camelot too. Though it sounds like you were actually the first to run into him in here. That's right. I saw him in Sheffield. That was when... You lost the black barrel, huh? Beryl probably took it for himself. I'm so sorry. All the time and effort you and Gian spent on it, and I just left it there. It's okay. Trump cards pop out when they needed to. Again, I'm sorry if I only... Hey, you still didn't have your memories back after the Nameless Woods ordeal, right? Then there's no way you could have known. Don't worry about the Black Pearl. We can always track it down. The important thing is that you're still alive. And fortunately, it looks like we won't even need this for this mission anyway. Really? I mean, if you don't have to use it, that's great, but... The Child of Prophecy knows Loach herself, not to mention... Yep, we have something even better than the Black Barrel now. What do you mean? Dr. Goredofl and Holmes coming to help us in the shadow border. Oh, Goredofl. Nee, so weit sind wir noch nicht. So schlimm ist noch nicht. Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm talking about you, Mesh. Dotinox may be working right now, but its production is putting out more power now than it ever has. That's probably the Tamlin rules at work. Barges and the other were gifted the Round Table Knights names, but you're gifted with Tamlin Galahad's name on top of already borrowing his power, giving you effectively a double Galahad bonus. No wonder you were able to go toe-to-toe with Lancelot. You're basically a high servant now, a peerless warrior even amongst peerless warriors. You can feel that too as a master, right, Maxie? Yep, my core is a sight to behold. I see. Then I do my very super best to help. Gute Messi. Hey, we're gonna go look around the city. You guys wanna come? Of course. Atora might be busy in the kitchen right now, but we've got nothing but time on our hands. So we gotta do something to make ourselves useful. How about you, Da Vinci? I'm going to sit this one out. Besides, I still have to write my report. So, where's Mesh? And with you? Nee, sie hilft jetzt Atora. Atora needs Mesh amazing chocolate making skills more than we did. Gotcha. Sounds like she got a real shot at winning then. If it comes to it, I was thinking I'd make the chocolate myself, but maybe now I won't need to. You're way too easy on Atora, you know that? Is that any way for one of the foreign gods' disciple to conduct himself? Shut up, you blue-haired dilwald. I still owe my life for saving me from that auction. Besides, I ought to be asking you why you were so easy on Noknariep. She look like a friend of yours or something? Actually, yes, but even though she is the spitting image of her, they are completely different people. Noknariep have been living here her own life, free of influence from any human history conduction. I took after my destiny, but she took hers by the horns and made it submit to her. I swear, I've never seen such a free-spirited woman anywhere. You can't help but to smile, right? Nö, wenn ich Map sehe, dann bedeutet es schlecht. Das war immer schon so. You don't say. So the last Queen map disappeared in the era of the High Queen 400, and Noknaria was born 100 years ago, in the High era of the Queen 1019. So the city went without a leader for about 100 years, huh? That's right. I thought it was strange when I first heard about this too. But apparently the Northern Fairies continued to live by the past Queen's teaching, even after she was gone. Then they say she should told them that a new king fairy would be born again one day, and that they were to obey Morgan until that day come. So what happened to the Northern Fairies after Noknariep was born? They went right back to their old ways, of course. Things have been tense between them and Morgan ever since. For 100 years, Noknariep's been teaching the Northern Fairies order and discipline, gradually turning them into a real army. When Einzel predicted a child of prophecy, Morgan wasn't the only one who was worried. I bet Noknariep went ballistic up here hearing the news too. At least on the inside. She was probably all I've been working towards this for 100 years now. No way I'm letting some padunk backwater fairy beat me to the punch. Huh, now I gotcha. So that's why Atora and the Queenie hit it off so well. Hit it off? Are you sure you don't mean bicker? I mean, they both know what it is like, and they bear the weight of crushing responsibility. They probably never had anyone else to cut curse out without becoming a big to-do before they met each other. They might be in completely different circumstances, but they still equals where it counts. And the way I see it, things are gonna work out no matter who wins this contest, so just let them have their fun. On the side, you sure know a whole lot of things, don't you, Grammar? Anything else you know about, but haven't shared? Like, say, why this place is called the Queen City? I don't know where that came from. I already told you everything I could. Huh? You're a long ways from the main road now, aren't we? Oh, hey guys. You're now out for work too? I don't blame you. Not much up to in our hotel room after all. We thought we could take advantage of the opportunity to do something sightseeing too, especially since we almost never came up this north. Did you guys see anything unusual? No, not really. What's with you, Raider? Not like you to be edgy. Well, I'm hoping it's just my imagination, but there seems to be a lot more Wind Clan fairies here than I was expecting. Oh, are you guys new here? Welcome to Edinburgh Development Ward. This is where all the refugees who haven't been able to share in Lady Nocnaria's power live. Still, we are all treated as full citizens. We all have jobs and roofs over our heads, even if they are just tents. In the meantime, I'm sure Lady Nocnaria will make you guys into King Clan fairies once the war against Queen Mong is over. So go ahead and put your tent up wherever you like. If you're lucky, you might even get a job in the medical ward. Don't worry, Morse disease isn't nearly as bad as it's made out to be. What's a Morse disease? Ah, is that a human? What in the world were you all thinking? Bringing a human to Edinburgh of all places? If Nocnaria finds out about this, you'll be... Wait, don't tell me. Are you guys also? No, we're travelers. We're just passing through. We'll be leaving tomorrow, so please don't worry about us. I see. Guess I'd better get going then. Sorry for taking up your time. Aussies. No way that guy actually lives around here. There's something way too shifty about him. He's probably one of Morgan's spies. A lot of room for rats like that, and the city is big. Should we tell Nocnaria about him? Don't bother. We can't snitch on a resident of Murmaz's hunch alone. For that matter, have you noticed how all the fairies in this ward have scars on their shines? I guess they're either refugees from the South fairies who've lost their purpose or fugitives who've fled to the south. So this town's full of criminals, huh? I guess Nocnaria's either really magnanimous or she really big on the cheap labor. Maybe it's both. Every fairy becomes land when they die regardless of what they were like in life. So having more fairies live here means that their territory will eventually expand. That must be how Edinburgh grew to the scale in the 1600 years since Queen Map disappeared. There's something that doesn't add up. If fairies have been living up there over 1600 years in the era of the High Queen, then why are the edges of Britain unchanged since the Fae era? Could the city be? I wouldn't put it past Map to do that. Turning a desolate wasteland into a prosperous city in a single generation, and next generation being born 100 years ago. I knew it. That's not making sense. No one among us left her alone all this time. If she play her cards wrong, Nocnaria could end up becoming a calamity herself. Habertot? Menschen werden calamities? Nah, I'm probably just overthinking it. There's no way that could actually be the case. Anyway, let's head back to Red Rapid. It's our wasteland up ahead. So there's nothing more to see here anyway. I see. And I take it you're going to ride on my back again? I was the one who said it wouldn't be any trouble, but that was before I knew you were so much heavier than you look. That's cause I got substance where it counts. Just you wait, once I eventually grow up, my old tabby cat's gonna have the most banging party you ever see. Aren't you the type of fairy who never gets any older? Anyway, I wouldn't wander around here too much if I were you either, Maxie. I don't know why Nocnaria let you off the hook, but if you run into any orphan fairies with long memories, they won't think twice about kicking up on you. Oh yeah, I guess you know more about them than I do, since I only have the first grimace notes to go off. Tell us something, Habertot. Elves and fairies used to be the first groups of fairies who coexisted with humans, right? Like in the War of Summer and such. So why does Nocna hate them so much? Yeah. Do you know what's up with that habitat? What? You mean you don't know that? Alright, I guess I can tell you. It all goes back to what happened about 4,000 years ago, during the War of Summer in the year 2000. Queen Nip invaded Britain from the Western Island and drove the other clans to the brink of extinction. Word has it that Isaac then stepped in and convinced Map to back down and reconcile with the clans, and had her and her people officially recognized as the King's Clan. But it's not exactly the whole truth. For one thing, Map would never agree to reconcile with the clan when her victory was already assured. Yeah, good point. I always thought that story spun things to a little too neatly for the other clans. Wait, don't tell me. Yep, Map snatched defeated from the jaws of victory right at the very end, when a human right-hand man and husband betrayed her. Voll verdient, liebe Leute. And so of course Isaac wasn't about to pass up a chance like that. She backed Map into a corner where she was already writhing in pain and gave her a thrashing of her life. Then she made her swear to join the other clans and never attack Britain again. When it rains it pours, huh? I know that kind of underhanded tactic is fair of course when it comes to war, but still. No wonder she hates humans so much. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to wipe them all out. Nah, Edinburgh would never be this grand of a city if she just wanted to wipe humans out. I think the real question that story raises, why was she writing in pain? Liebe Leute, Map betrügen, guter Typ, Mann. Oder Map, Vater Map oder Mutter Map, Tochter Map, irgendeine Map. Ist wurscht, liebe Leute. Map betrügt man einfach. So, okay, dann kümmern wir uns ja noch um den nächsten Abschnitt. Und bitte jetzt nicht das Schokobettel, bitte jetzt nicht das Schokobettel. Bitte alles nur nicht das. Ich hab so hart keinen Bock darauf. That night in Maxis room. Wenn Map kommt, schrei ich. Ah! I wonder who that could be. Es kann es, ich weiß es. Ah, zum Glück. Excuse me, Senpai. I'm back to a temporary reprieve for my chocolate duty. But the chocolate battle is very heated, so I can't stay long. Heated, huh? I think I can guess how things are going. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like you to answer a question for me. What shape do you think would be best for chocolate? Well, taking the tutorial as a beginner into consideration, I think I'd have to say something standard. I knew it. Thank you, Senpai. This was very helpful. Okay, I better get going back to the battlefield. Sleep well, Senpai. Ah! Now who is it? Come in. Whoa! It's okay, human. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm Icon. Lady Nocna faithful soldier. Ah! Tötet ihn! Wo sind meine Freunde? Da Vinci, tötet ihn! Lady Nocna has just finished the 8th step of her chocolate recipe and is currently taking a break. Once she's finished, she'll be up all night working step 9 through 19. But for now, she'd like to someone to talk to while she takes her break. Yes, of course. I mean you. There's no one else in this room. Just accept that. There's no getting out of this and come with me. And don't even think about trying to escape by jumping out of the window. Aber der Tod ist eine schöne Eis, mit Map zu reden. Hilfe! Töte dich! Beiß dir die Zunge ab! Needless to say, I fell in Lady Nocna position has many things to consider at all times. So this break she's taking is on strictly need-to-know basis. There won't be any guards keep watch. This is as far as I go too. Don't worry. Lady Nocna hatred of humans may be famous, but she's still not as unreasonable as an Icon. Yeah, die letzte Icon war netter als sie. As long as you hold your breath, keep quiet, stay perfectly still, never speak except you agree with her, you might just make it out alive. Wieso? Ist doch ganz einfach. Ich sag, verpiss dich! Und dann sammle ich einfach, keine Ahnung, ein Juno und dann wird sie geprüht. Alright then, good night and good luck. Ich bin dagegen, liebe Leute. Ich vermische den Visual Novel Charakter, wo ich sagen kann, ja, ich will oder ich will nicht. Naja, I didn't expect you to come alone. Ich wurde nicht gefragt, Bitchstück. Have you been enjoying the Edinburgh nightscape? We may not be as fancy as Gloucester, but I think our main street is still pretty sad. Just a little bit on the way here. Oh, what am I saying? Of course you did. I can tell from your sparkle in your eyes. That's the look of someone who picked a beautiful insect fruit scarf before stopping by a coffee for a chocolate-infused cocktail. My Edinburgh really is the best, isn't it? Just look at how it's even interests the foreign mage with its charms. But I digress. I invited you here for a very special reason. Tell me about the outside world, what Morgan called proper human history. I don't care about it, of course, but as the Queen of the Northern Fairies, I need to at least be familiar with it. Are you scared to be here without your companions that you can't even speak? Foreign mage or not, you're still just a weak little human after all. You could never be the one to make a call about whether to leak classified info an enemy on your... Oh, Leute, seid halt nicht so dumm, Mann. Erzähl halt einfach gar nicht. Sag halt einfach, du bist ein dummes Besteck und verpiss dich, Mann. Ja gut, sie kann eh nichts mit den Informationen anfangen, das ist der Hauptgrund. Kann sie durch alles erzählen. Oh, didn't even read them talking for almost an hour. In einer Stunde die Geschichte von FCO-Zusammenfassung, voll kurz. Hang on, you covered all that stuff so eloquently that it was easy to follow along. I need you to stop here for a moment though. I need to process all of that. Okay, das Chaldea, Heroic Spirits, Lostbelt, Proper Human History. Übrigens, wenn wir mit dem Lostbelt fertig bist, wird deine Heimat und alle, die du kennst, ausgelöscht. Ich wollte es dir nur gesagt haben, Map, und besonders Karn. Okay, I've basically got it. Looks like there's not much point in thinking about this stuff now, is there? That's the kind of thing I can't worry about after Morgan's be defeated, right? Aha. Liebe Leute, es wird immer schlimmer. That's fine, then. Thanks to all the valuable info you have, my great-heart, the great-heart of a queen. A good ruler does more than just wage war on their enemies, you know. They also made a plan to rule their nation after they've won. I know Britain isn't really surrounded by the sea of nothingness. There's actually a much larger world out there beyond the border. Of course, fairies typically hide in the woods and don't mesh well with human words. But with the right motivation, there are a lot of ways to get around. I can't believe there's still so much to do even after things are wrapped up here. I can't wait to get started. Are you talking about expanding a chocolate factory? That's right. If there's another world that rich in resources, I have to make another Western Island. And pay this. You called it North America, right? A little visit. I guess that means you and I will be enemies again when that happens. That should be fun. She really is just like Map, und das spricht gegen sie. There. You just made the face again, just like the one when you did to make a weird comment about my chocolate fields. Why is that? Is there a version of me in your world to do something? Wait, on a second thought, don't answer that. I really want to know about this other me, but if I find out, it's going to make me throw a tantrum. Wow, she really is throwing a tantrum. That was close, but I managed to preserve my queen dignity. I don't think that's... Dignity preserved, because if anyone saw that, I'd have them executed before they could tell anyone. Ihr habt alles gesehen. Ihr habt alles gesehen, wer das der Welt machen. Das ist mir voll wertbar. Besser als hier zu reden. Very good, a perfect response. Still, maybe I should at least ask you this. Let's say another version of me that exists in your world in her final moments. Was she not betrayed by her lovers? Did she remain a cold-blooded queen to the end? Of course. Und ihr seid beide gestorben und ihr wart beide Assi. Ich wollte es noch angemerkt haben. Assi, Well, of course I was. There was no way of all people would ever die of a broken heart. So, what kind of villain warrior defeated me? They must have been really strong fairy, right? Huh? Cheese? As in, the stuff made from sheep's milk and eat with bread? Huh. So there's a cheese fairy in your world. Maybe they're related to Alkendom. The cheese was just a method, a human slung it. Ha ha! So that I'm was killed by a human? That's what you're telling me? Did you just take all the trouble to tell me such a ridiculous story, even knowing how much I hate humans? It's how the particular queen met her aunt. Are you kidding me? You can't say that kind of thing with a straight face. It's a total mood killer. Then again, it was a human that was responsible for the last queen's downfall too. I guess when you're big enough, even a little people can trip you up. Thinking about it that way, I could see my other self getting killed by a human, and hey, at least she wouldn't have to put with any weird curses afterwards. If you don't mind, I'm asking about the last queen. That's right. Losing her lover hurt her so badly that she couldn't fight anymore, which led to ASIC beating her. Map put too much trust in humans. She thought they were the same as her, and so she loved them too much. She charged onto the battlefield, with her most beloved soldier by her side. She did his best to keep her up with her. But she couldn't quite make it to the end. Just when they'd won their final battle against the clans, Map turned, intending to celebrate with him, only to see her beloved draw his final breath. It's no surprise, really. Of course a mere human could never keep up with a fairy, let alone a ray like Map. But he still promised to stay with her, and he broke the promise. That was his betrayal. That was when Map lost the will to fight. The moment she realized how foolish she had been, and how much that soldier had really loved her. Still, her broken heart was all healed up by the time the era of the High Queen came around, and she soon set her sights on ruling all of Britain. Map then retired afterward to build Edinburgh, and no new king clan where fairies were born for a long time. She left her hole for about 1,500 years until I came along and filled it. I'm the second King Clan's fairy. I've inherited Map's power and truly worthy of being queen. I'm truly a great fairy. I hate humans because they were useless in war. I'm not going to make the same mistake Map did. I'm going to defeat Mom with my clan alone. That's why I don't need a tourist roundtable army getting in my way. It's an eyesore at best. I'd make you peace soon if I were you. Once I win tomorrow's duel, all humans will be mine to do with as I please. And I'm going to put you all to work in my nice safe chocolate factory with full benefits until the day you die. I'm not worried. Artura's going to win. Besides, humans aren't as fragile as you think, knock no re-up. Okay, break's over. I better go to work. Enjoy your freedom while you can, Maxi. This is the last night you have it, after all. Oh Leute, das ist so ein dummer Abschnitt gewesen. Leute, die ist so mega unsympathisch, Mann. Aber die Geschichte mit Map fand ich jetzt gut, um hier mal was Positives zu sagen. What a long night. Jetzt wird das Mausgriff. Wer klopft jetzt an die Tür? Das war so klar. Wenn das nochmal Map ist, springe ich hier und würde sagen, now who is it coming? Wer ist es? Zu? Oder keine Ahnung. I'm getting a bad feeling about das. Oh mein Gott. Morgen? Keine Ahnung. Oh! Lange mal gesehen? Mate, you look. You totally thought I was knocking on your door, didn't you? Well, this time I came through the window. Oberon? So, echt lange das mit ihm schon. Easy there, keep your voice down. It's very late, you know. And what's more, I'm traveling incognito today. If anyone asks, I was never here, okay? Why incognito, you ask? Okay, it's partly because I got tired of being the Roundtable Army errand boy and ran off for a while. Really tough is that the Fairy Kings never stays in one place for too long. And the real reason is that I was worried about you guys. I mean, we're all friends now, right? Of course I'm going to worry about you. So on that note, I hope you don't mind that I'm here. So, good evening, Maxi. Congratulations on ringing the 4th bell. We could all hear it way back in Londinium. The Roundtable Army's morale has never been higher. Percival made a seat at a table for a Fang Clan Fairy who want to come over from Oxford. Gareth's been having a great time in Londinium with the kids. They just finished tilling a new field, in fact. Spring seems to be up something, which worries me, I admit. But all in all, The South has been stable for so far. So of course, whether it stays that way is all up to you guys. You're here to talk to Noknaria, right? I've been hearing rumors about tomorrow's map match all through the city. If Noknaria joins force with the Child of Prophecy, that'd be a huge boost to our chances against Camelot. Once Noknaria agrees to an alliance and Artorias ring Oxford's bell, we could begin our attack at Camelot in around 3 days. What about the Sixth Bell? Genau, das ist ja diese Wasser, also die unter der Wasser. Habe ich irgendwie Ding gewesen. Aber es hieß ja, wenn wir Camelot irgendwie erobern, das war doch letztens, was wir in diesem seltsamen Traum von Artorias gehört haben, erscheint die letzte Glocke. I'm sorry, I've been looking everywhere for it, but still, no luck. Still, the bells of pilgrimage are meant to show that the clans have recognized the Child of Prophecy. And since the last one, the Mirror Clan, is gone now, there arguably isn't much point to ring theirs. So, I think just 5 bells ought to be enough. Those bells. Something bothering you? Artorias been getting more stressed with every bell she rings. I see, well, that makes sense. You know how she gets stronger every time she rings the bell. At first I thought that meant she was growing. But I've realized that it's actually more unlocking her latent power. I think the Fairy of Paradise is probably born with her true power essentially bound. And the bells of pilgrimage are a means to break those bonds. They probably also restore the knowledge and memories she always had, but were locked away all this time. Every time Artorias rings a bell, she learns more about her duty and her destiny. Now that she's rung 4 of them, she's probably a completely different person from who she was when we met her in the Nameless Woods. How so? By now she must have a much stronger sense of duty, and I'm sure her priorities must have shifted a lot, too. She's probably making decisions based on what the Child of Prophecy should be doing rather than what she herself actually wants. Am I wrong? I actually don't think the part of her has changed too much. Is that so? Well, in that case, I guess it's a good thing. She's a naturally born stubborn. Still, I can tell you're concerned about her, and that you're keeping your concerns to yourself so as not to worry her. Do you remember what I said before? In this Lostbelt, you and I are just bystanders. Our role here is to see how things play out. Of course I remember that. Well, it's still true. We can't save Britain, and we can't save Artorias from her destiny. Once we acquire a means of fighting the foreign god, the best thing we can do is to put his place behind us. That being said, I really respect your determination and your commitment. And I'm not just talking about to Chaldea, I'm talking about every step you've been taking to get here. Once Morgan has been defeated, if you still want to save Britain, no. If you still want to help Artorias, I support you however you can, even if it means going well out of our way before helping proper human history. Do you think it's okay to say how I really feel? Of course it is. When you get right down to it, the only ones who can really do big things are those who work hard for what they want. Trust me, I've come this far on my own too, so I have some idea of what that feels like. I mean, you've been working so hard for so long. I think you're entitled to put at least a tenth of that effort into indulging yourself. Thanks. Artorias is another matter though. I have no intention of indulging her. You know how she is, incredibly competitive, but has almost no self-esteem. Not a great combination. If you don't keep her in line with her sense of duty, she's liable to go completely off the rails. You're really hard on Artorias, aren't you, Oberon? Of course I am. You would be too if you spent as much time worrying about her as I do, only to have her go and to do something you never expected. I don't even know how many times I've been had to pull strings from behind the scenes anymore. If only she'd grown up more like a docile princess and less like a wild boar. I mean, I'm sorry. That's more a personal preference thing than anything else. Honestly, well, I think Toria's just fine, the way she is. There's certainly never a dull moment when she's around. Well, now I know, he really does like her. Anyway, that's enough chatter for today. In fact, crap, I've been talking too long. I need to be back on Landino by morning. All this now as gift. Bye! Are you sure Toria isn't your Titania? Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm always on the lookout for her, even now. But even in the story, with a guaranteed happy ending, she's only the very smallest of bit players. She's a convention plot device, forgotten as soon as it's no longer needed. No one ever gave her thought to her happiness when all was said and done. But that's the life of a side character. You can't stop to worry about every little thing, or the whole world will fall apart. You can't expect that kind of imagination from a reader, or even from a playwright writing the script. Besides, it's all just a fairy tale. She was born to be forgotten with the turn of pages. So it's okay. My queen is the sort of woman who shouldn't ever actually existed. Nun gut, liebe Leute, dann haben wir jetzt hier deutlich überzogen. Das war jetzt, die zweite Hälfte war jetzt mit Oberon wieder sehr interessant. Jetzt hoffen wir mal, dass es beim nächsten Mal immerhin wieder ein Fight nicht allzu lang um Schoko-Kämpfe geht. Na gut, beim nächsten Mal geht's weiter. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und